Hello, in the next few videos I'm going to look at the storage for our stamp folders. So we made these earlier, so I'm going to look at the storage for these. There's three types. There's the single storage, which will take 3 of your folders. There's the 5 one that will take 5. So if you bought all those lovely word stamps, there's 5 in those in the set. You can put them all in one folder. And a double one which will hold 3 on each side. But let's start off with the single one. So I'm going to bring up my scoreboards, and I'm using a sheet of A3 for this. Okay, so on the long side, bring that in there. So on the long side you're going to score at 13 centimetres. Let's get the 15 centimetres, 30.5 centimetres, and then you need a 32.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this here, so that's my 30.5, and if I then stand that in my scoreboard and butt that right up, I can then get the 2 centimetre that I need to make that a 32.5. So I'm just trying to hold it tight against the edge. So that's all my short side. So we've got 13 centimetres, 15 centimetres, 30.5 and 32.5 centimetres. Now you're going to go on the long side, and on the long side of this you're going to score at 2 centimetres. Now I'll have to flip mine over in a minute, but that's not a problem, and 4 centimetres. And you're going to do that on both ends. So before I do the other end, I'm just going to flip this to repeat my score. And then I'm going to flip that over. So you've got 2 and 4 on each end. Okay. I'm using the Pink Frog 350 DSM craft card for this, because this is nice and sturdy for our storage, and this means it's going to last a long time. But the thing is, I've had mine and they have lasted a long time, but you've also got to remember that if you have to renew it, you're only paying out for one sheet of craft card. So, you know, it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. I'm not paying out for expensive storage. So I'm just folding these over, and you know what I'm going to tell you to do? To do a good burnish. So just take your time burnishing all the elements. Excuse me, all my measurements have gone sliding. And the last side. So just take your time doing it. I'm doing it with you in real time, but if I'm going too fast, just pause the video. The thing with this is the craft card is quite sturdy, so if you've got dexterity problems, it may mean you just take a little bit longer than I am. But it's not a problem, because you can pause the video. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, Dawn's Inspirations, please do. So if you look, I'm putting 3 of these in here, and if I just put that out, you can see how it's all going to come together very nicely. Okay, just perfect out of one of the sheets. So before I go any further, let's do a little bit of cutting. So this is going to be our sorry, I'm off camera here. This is going to be our flap. Okay, so we're going to go down to the second score line, and you're going to take that piece out straight across, and you're going to do that on both sides. So down to the second one again, and straight across. Okay, so that's that bit. This bit is going to be the piece that comes up, so you're going to go straight across here and here, and just give that a tiny little mitre, not a lot, just a tiny little piece, just so it just sits nicely as we fold that in, because the craft card, as I say, is 350 GSM. So you're going to do that on both sides, so go straight and straight, and then in with the angles to do that. So as you see, it starts to come together. This bit is going to go in. I could put that piece over, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just looking. I cut a big chunk off last time, and I'm just wondering if I don't this time. I'm just playing. This is where when we design things keep evolving and developing, and you can get more out of them. But no, I'm going to take that off. So that's our lids. So I'll tell you what we'll do. I've just got a corner rounder here. So let me put a corner rounder on here, because then you'll know that's the lid. Okay, or the flap that's coming over. So the next bit is down this bottom end here. You're going to cut these straight up. So that comes off that side. You could go in with your trimmer if you wish. Just be very careful to get it in the right position. Okay, so this is now all going to come together to cause that nice flap there. So let's look at where we've got to put our red line tape. So I'll tell you what I'll do before I do that. Let me lay that out so you can see if yours looks identical to mine, which hopefully it does. And then I'm going to get my red line tape, and I'm going to put this on this end, get my little snips, and again on this end. Okay, and then I need it on this flap. And on this flap. Okay, so that's done. Right, so the next bit we're going to do is stick this together, but before we stick it together, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? Give that red line a good burnish. Now, if you were decorating this, this is the stage I would say turn over and decorate. So let me just bring in a few that are finished. So you could do this one. This is one that I think this was Karen did for me. It's either Karen or Heather. I think it was Heather actually. And what you're going to do with this one, she hasn't put any extra panels on. What she's done at this stage, she stamped it all with those lovely texture stamps. So that's one option. The other option is I did this one, whereas I've done an extra layer of panels over it. Okay, again, I've used the texture stamps, but I put extra panels on. And this one Karen did for me, and this is with extra panels, but this is pattern paper this time. Okay, so there's several options. So if you wanted to stamp all over, do that first. But now let's start constructing our wallet or our folder. I like to call it a folder. So this is a 3 stamp storage folder. Okay, but the thing is with this, depending on how many Pink Frog stamps you've got, you could choose to make this as thick as you like to take the stamps that you've got. When you're joining the corners, just make sure they're nice and butt, so everything is nice and square. And you know what I'm going to say to you, I know you can't see it because the thing's in the way, but give that a good burnish. Okay, and then this one, so we're going to take our red liner tape off. And you know my trick with red liner, I've got my microfiber cloth at my side. So again, you're going to butt this up square, and you're going to then push that down, and you're going to butt that one up square. And then if you can, flip it over, just put your hand inside and give that a little burnish down. But that is your 3 stamp wallet. Okay, so if I bring my 3 stamps in here, there we go, 1, 2, 3, in they go. I've got 1 stamp sticking out, but that'll be fine, that'll go in. So in they go, fit nicely. So I'm ready to go off to my crop or class, and I've got the stamps I need all ready to go. The other thing you could do with it is you could store stamps that you don't use all year round. Like at the moment I've got Christmas stamps in here. So on my shelf I can put a little title up the side saying Christmas, because they're not the sort of things you're going to use all year round. So you can then get organised with your craft storage. So there's the finished wallet in the craft. There's one that's decorated with pattern papers. There's a white one at the 350 GSM white card from Pink Frog, A3 again, and that's stamped over with the lovely texture stamp. And then here's another one done in the white 350 GSM, and that's stamped all the way over with no mats on. So lots of different variations for you to choose on. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and in the next video I'm going to do the 5 stamp storage folder. See you in a minute.